Shanti. Everybody okay? Energy? Yes. So it's good that Didi called you in front because we are a few selected group today. So we want to see all of you. And I know this is the brother side, but there seem to be more sisters than brothers, Didi. So do you want them to come in front, the sisters?
First row is just empty.
Yes. So the last row of the sisters can come in the first row. How's that? All right? That'll be great. So today we are hoping to have a very interesting session. It's a panel. You know what a panel is, right? There are a few people on stage, and there's somebody who talks to them, interviews them, and everybody shares their views, and we have question and answers, and also maybe question and answers from you. So one of our participants is missing. We have to probably send out a search warrant, Anita, and find out where he is, because you can't just wait for him. He has to come. So I think all of you know that the topic for the panel discussion today is the courage to face. The courage to face. I think the word courage itself means to face, isn't it? Right? And I was thinking of some words. In English we say courage. There could be another word called persevere. But in Hindi, Baba uses a couple of words. One word is himmat. I think in fact there are about 3 words. One is himmat, which would mean that if you are faced with some problems or some obstacles and you just keep your courage and you go on, and it's already come, this thing, and you know it's there, but you don't give up, right? That is one definition or one kind of courage. We say in Hindi, himmat. No, I'm not giving a lecture. I have to first make the foreground, Didi. Didi is very excited, eager to talk today, right? Wow, wow. I have to give a foreground of what courage is. And because I'm a Hindi translator, Didi. And then we have more words about courage, because I'm trying to use your, gray cells. Sometimes we use the word valor. Like in a war, somebody's very brave. That also comes in courage. There's a fight or there's a war, and this person goes in the front and faces the enemy. That also comes under courage. And we have a few more, but we will fearless. Fearless is also courage. Fearless, no fear. So today we will find out from 3 and one more person coming about this topic. And we hope we have a very, very practical things that everybody talks about, not abstract, not just rational, but really practical things. Let me introduce the participants here. Didi, I think everybody knows. Anybody doesn't know this person sitting in the middle? Anybody? Everybody knows. This is Didi, Dr. Nirmala, like we say Didi. And here we have Sujatha. Sujatha is of Indian origin, but she resides in the US, in California. Seattle, sorry. She's from Seattle. And she is, Didi is, of course, single. And Sujatha is a single parent. She's also single, but she's a single parent. And I think she has a daughter and a son. And her daughter has performed on the stage here, Bharatnatyam, excellent dancer. Then we have Rami. Rami is from Israel. He is a part of the IPR team for many years now. He is not a single parent. International Parents Retreat, IPR. And Rami has a partner, Yugal, and they both are in Gyan, and he has 3 children, and I think most of them are also in Gyan. Most. I mean, they do follow many things. So we have a different kind of participants, and the one who's not coming, I'll introduce him so that we don't waste time when he comes. That's Lois from Switzerland, and he has been also with the youth and the young adults retreat. He's been helping for many years. I think he's single, Didi? I'm not sure. When he comes, I'll ask him. Okay. Okay. So that's what we have, all 4 people now. Now, first of all, I'd like to put the question to Didi, because I think she already said, but how would you define courage and how can one increase that? How would you define courage and how could we increase that?
Om Shanti. Courage, in different word, is fearlessness. You are without fear. Because whenever there is something to face, we need courage. Especially in Gyan. When we come to Gyan, there is opposition from, first of all, our family. Because family may be following different lifestyle, different religion, and will think Indian religion, Raj Yoga, waking up early in the morning, being celibate, no boyfriend, no girlfriend, no parties, nothing. There is something wrong with you. So they start opposing our Brahman life. So we need to have courage to follow Baba's teachings and Baba's or Brahman lifestyle. Those who are married, they will have to face a lot of opposition from the partner if the partner is not in Gyan. And so they need a lot of courage. Or they have to be very tactful to deal with the partner. Or they had to be detached and to say goodbye to the partner. So courage, maybe even wherever we are working, the staff, the colleagues say, oh, you are vegetarian, you'll be weak, you'll be sick, etc. I remember one of the Australian girl, she was less than 10 years. And in the school, the teacher used to tease, you are eating grass. You are vegetarian means you are eating grass. So, facing such problem. Now, if you are working as a secretary, and because we had one sister who was secretary with one of the MPs, and MP used to give party and she had to arrange party. So she was part of organizing team. But she wouldn't eat all the food that was served there or in Christmas party. Because naturally Christmas party, naturally you had to be participating with your colleagues in the office. But luckily, in her office, they used to say, okay, bring your own dish. So she will bring her own vegetarian dish and eat that only, or share with others also. So the thing is, in such circumstances, you need to have courage to say, I'm vegetarian, or I eat only cook food cooked by me or other BKs. Especially in Indian society. Now, if we visit our relatives and we don't eat, then that's it. They get upset. Say, oh, are we Shudras? Are we untouchable? Why don't you eat our food? So that also, either you have to be courageous or yukti. Either you have to say, I'm fasting today.
Fast. Can't fast every day, right? Yeah.
Once in a while, if you go there,
Yes,
you can
yes.
say, I'm fasting.
Once in a while, yeah. So,
But you have to go often, and every day you say, I'm fasting.
They'll say
Then
you
that
lose
will
weight.
not do. So you have to be clear. So
Okay.
you need a lot of courage in Brahman life.
Okay, Didi, thank you. So Didi has been talking about different courages needed in Brahmin life, and she's touched a lot on food. And I think we have many other kind of courage also, being a Brahmin or not being a Brahmin, because we are going to deal with even non-Brahmins, when we give lessons, courses, meet people. So we need to have a very, very broad spectrum of what really courage is, or when it is needed, sort of. So maybe I can, Sujata can tell us a bit more about that. How would you define courage?
Om Shanti. First of all, when I came to Baba 10 years ago, I was not very courageous. I was scared. At that time, I had to learn that courage means being soul conscious, right? And taking a stance. So first, when I started becoming a BK and following all the principles, I think there wasn't much of an opposition, but I work in a corporate world and I'm a technologist. So I had to take a stance to say I'm a BK, and also I follow all these principles. So it was like I had to be explicit about it. So for me, that is taking one step of courage, being a Brahmin and telling Baba that I belong to you. So that was my first step of courage. And for me, definition of courage is taking a stance and following what you believe in.
Yes. So, sometimes we want to do a lot of things, nice things, new things, but we are worried about the opposition, or we can't tell people. Sometimes we want to hide also, or we want to just move away from there so that we don't have to explain to anybody. So that would not really be called courage. It might be called tactful, like Didi said, using the word tact. But sometimes we have to be tactful and also courageous so that others can see that we really have courage and we believe in what we want to do. Thank you. Rami, could you tell a bit more about what is your idea or opinion, definition of courage?
Om Shanti. The respected bands sitting next to me have taken almost all the answers, but I just want to add a little bit one more point when it's speaking about being tactful. Being courageous and being stupid, it's a very thin line going in between, because sometimes you want to say the entire truth about you and what you believe and everything, and you just speaking not in the right time, and then you become stupid. But I just want, a story came in mind. It was very interesting that on Baba's meeting we heard the 31st of December 2007, 10 years ago. That was the first time that I was here with my son, and a year before that, that was in 2006, was the first time I've been in Madhuban. And I had arrived noon time, at evening time, Daddy was giving a class, and I don't know how in the morning time I found myself have a personal meeting with Daddy. I didn't know anything about that. I have no idea how I was in Daddy's cottage. Daddy asked me, what do you remember from my class yesterday? I didn't remember anything. So I told a lie. I told her that, Daddy, I had arrived late. I didn't attend the class.
Didn't attend the class?
Yeah, good Brahmin, yes?
Okay, that's all right. Yeah. It's not in the Maryadas, I think.
Daddy looked at me and kind of gave review of that class chat that she gave. It set in for a whole year, it set. And in December 2007, when I came, at that time, Baba used to come on 15th December and 31st, and because my son was coming, I was allowed to come for the 2 meetings. So we arrived 14 evening, 15 morning, she meet all the double foreigners, and then she come and say, Tektoli, Tektoli. Everybody comes, and we're sitting. We are the last one, everybody come. So we coming to the stage. And I think that this is the first time that honesty and courage, I put it into practice in my Brahmin life. Daddy gave the Toli for my son. Then she coming to tell me, I said, Daddy, I'm not taking Toli. No, you need to see Daddy's face at that time. I think it's the first time in her life that somebody...
He said, you're not taking Toli.
said to her, I'm not going to take a Toli. And then, you need to have the courage to tell the truth. I tell her, Daddy, last year I lied to you. And Baba always say, 1 step of courage, and how many courage you will give us?
1,000-fold, 1,000 steps.
That was my lesson, December 2007. We were sitting on the floor, and then Sister Gopi comes, and she give me envelope. And I said, what is this envelope? She said, this is a voucher. It was kind of flower to go in the line in front of Baba. And I asked her, why I deserve that? She told me what happened. Something happened. So I told her, and then she said, honesty and courage brought you to stand in the line. I'm going in the line, Daddy sees me. She said, come in front of Baba. I don't know what they spoke in Hindi. There was no translation at that time. But I think that probably something like Baba said, past is past. So that was the first reward I got. I actually got Rishti from Baba in December. This is something that you usually don't get. Few days after that, Daddy calling me to her cottage. And then she named me. She called me Mahavir. So I have the Rami name and I have the Mahavir name.
Rami's already jumped to that. I was going to come in the second question about that.
So just look at it. One act of courage when you have the ability to put honesty and speak the truth. And what's the reward that Baba gives in return? Om Shanti.
Thank you. So honesty, right? Courage to be honest. Sometimes if you've done something and we can't lie to ourselves and we don't want to lie to anybody, but we think we should not say, it's okay if you don't say. We're not really hiding, we're not really lying, but we think we shouldn't say. But if you say, what happens? And at what time and where you can say that? Like he said, you can't just say that all the time. You can't be stupid. But there are certain times when you say and it really pays off. So I think that's important. And so we have been, again, defining mostly Brahmin life. I guess because we don't think of ourselves as anybody else except Brahmins. But again, I said, people in the world also need courage in many different things, right, Didi? Many things. We are talking about our principles, maryadas, but there are many, many other places where courage is needed. Don't you think so, Didi? Because we will be dealing with other people and they might ask us or our students or our relatives, our friends, they think we are really spiritual people, we know a lot, we have experience, so they ask us many things sometimes. So it's good to know a little bit broader spectrum of courage, I think. Would you have any other definition, Didi?
I think in the first time you asked how to develop courage.
Yes, what's definition and how
Now,
to increase, yes.
How to increase the courage, I will answer that. In order to have courage, what we need to do is keep Baba with us. If I think I am alone, I'll be afraid. Especially people are afraid of one thing is dark.
Dark, oh.
So with Gyan, we say, okay, Baba is with me wherever I'm going. So if we keep Baba with us, we won't be afraid. Because Baba is my companion. And people have that experience. Brahmins, because one of the biggest sister, she was traveling alone in the early morning, 5:30 is dark. She was coming to the center from the main road. The center was a little bit far. So she saw there was some suspicious person. So she said, Baba, you are my companion, you are my companion. And she was walking. And he had vision of somebody stout and sturdy and tall person with her. So he didn't touch her. But somebody who came after her, he
Attacked.
molested her. So the thing is, we should not, those who are afraid of dark, if they keep God as their companion, fear of laughed at.
Pardon?
No?
Fear of?
If I'm not confident in speaking,
Oh, yes.
I'll feel what people will think about
stage
me.
fright or something.
Will they appreciate or will they laugh at me?
Afraid of
So
criticism.
fear of public speaking especially. And that also, what Sudesh Ben shares her experience, that she used to think I am speaking to the stones. Or we say stone intellect people. Baba says people are stone intellect. Because if you think I am speaking to VIP, then you are a bit more nervous about it.
Are you stones? No.
So having that awareness that these are stone intellect people. Fear of death. And we know soul is immortal, so we are not afraid of death and we are already died.
Anybody here afraid of death? Have the courage to speak up. Anybody here afraid of death? One? Family, yes. Didi, people are sometimes afraid about what will happen to their family.
What?
Afraid of what will happen to the family of their dying or facing some...
That's what that fear is, no? If I die, what will happen? Worry.
No, she's
What
also
will
thinking
happen
about
to my children?
something happening to the family, right?
So fear of death of other people.
Of the family members.
So
or
that
something
is fear,
happening.
but we know the soul is eternal until they have got karma with us. Gyan helps us a lot. That until they have karma with us, they will be with us. Once karma is over, they will leave the body. We do our most to help them. But then it's their karma.
Good.
Then can be fear of new things. Going to new place, working in a new place. Fear of unknown, we call it.
Yep.
But once we have this awareness, I've done it 5,000 years, every 5,000 years. There is no fear. It's nothing is unknown. Everything is known for us.
Because when there are challenges, it could be at work or home or any kind of challenge, and sort of to draw out that courage from within that I can face it. Because sometimes we want to avoid it. We would rather not step into something which we don't know, or why take that burden on my head? It's such a challenge. So sometimes we may not go there. So, Rami, what do you think? One should go
Means
to
you
those
have
kind
to
of
be
places, Rami?
sometimes cautious, because
Yeah, I'm just
nowadays what happens, you see somebody stealing somebody's handbag and
that's-
running away.
That's yes.
And you chase that person, and that person whom you are chasing will hit you with sword or bullet or anything.
Yeah, that's what Rami said. Rami, can you take your mic? Rami said that we can't be stupid. Courage doesn't mean being stupid. So I'm trying to ask Rami that, to be able to face a challenge, to be daring to do something new, or like new adventure or new anything, would that be also like fall in the category of courage?
Well, there's two things I want to say before about it. First of all, none of you had raised his hand to say that he's not afraid of death. But in reality, you are not karmatit yet. So we need to remember that there is practicality.
Can you speak a little louder, Rami? I don't know if they can
There
hear.
is practicality and there is theory. And I know about it myself. I see myself, so I'm sharing a little bit. In theory, I know my soul. I maybe had practiced being bodiless many times. But when something was about to happen to this body, I was afraid. So we need to remember that Baba say over a long period of time. So when we want to deal with our fears, we need the courage. We need it over a long period of time, especially when it's coming to this, even before the family. Family, it's question of attachment, detachment. But detach from this, my baby, it's more challenging. Didi already there. But I believe that most of us need 2018 as the completion to say goodbye to this one. So that second thing, look, even to sit now on this stage and speak in a language which is my not tongue language require courage. But how I can find myself right now in this stage doing that? It was a process. It started from the center. Actually, it started even before from our home. We wanted to have some value to our kids, so we decided, me and my wife, to have some workshop at home, and we prepare workshop and invite friends. And it became a group of BKs that we had workshop at home. And then the center heard about it and said, you know what? Let's give a chance. Because I'm in a male body, so it's not usually so often that a male body will give a chance. But then in the center, and it took time. It started with small Saturdays workshops. And then slowly, and then this IPR, it took me 4 or 5 years before I was able to say, yes, I can give a workshop in English in Madhuban. So courage is something that can be built over time. And then you can conquer it. It's very easy to stay in the safety zone. If my safety zone, this is the 4 corners that I know, I not need to step out. If I will not need to step out, I will not fail. Very safe.
So that's like
So-
coming out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
That's another thing. Everything is going okay, so you think, why should I tread on something different? So you'd rather be in your comfort zone, and then you don't get any experiences maybe, or you don't get many points, I guess. So Sujata, have you had, or do you have any fear of death, or even like, I think more than death is even pain, like you don't want something to happen to your body?
Actually, in the past, right, because I didn't know that soul is eternal. Once before that, we always worry about what will happen to me, what will happen to my children, that fear of unknown that Didi talked about. But if we keep practicing, going back again, it always goes back to the soul consciousness. How much I understand that soul is eternal. It's a simple sentence, but to make it real and practice it and feel confident that whatever is happening, again, I go back to what Didi shared, Baba is with me. I'm not alone. So I just close my eyes and I invoke Baba, whether I'm not feeling healthy or whether I feel something would happen to my kids, or if I'm not able to get in contact with them, I just call Baba and say, Baba, you're taking care of me and you're taking care of them. And the fear just disappears and the confidence just comes back. So that was my experience, and I experienced it over and over again.
Good. So that's my second question, which you partly have, all of you have answered maybe partly, is that, we know all the definitions, we know the abstract things, this is courage, this is whole conscious, this is this. We can probably write volumes on that. But when it really comes to doing things, Rami has given a few examples, Sujata has given, but I would really like you to give a real example from your life, of really, really courage was needed. It was a big thing maybe that you had to do, or you didn't know how to do, and did you do it? I would like to know a practical example from your life. Sujata first.
I can share exactly what's happening now. I'm actually about to launch a small company. Right now it is unknown. It's a startup. I don't know what will happen to it, but it's that step of courage, because there's nothing I'm going to lose. At the very minimum, my food, shelter, clothing, everything Baba has given me. So I am ready to do whatever it takes to make it work. I have no idea what will happen, but I feel confident that the outcome will be fine because Baba is with me. It's just like, I'll give a very simple example to actually conceptualize how this can work. I use this example. Let us say you're taking a 5-year-old child. A father is taking a 5-year-old child, and the kid is holding father's hand with his little finger, and they're trying to go to a toy store. And does the kid worry about where the store is? Does he need to know where the store is? No, daddy will take him, right? Similarly, I put myself in that little child's shoes. And I say, my Baba is taking me with him. He knows where he wants me to go. He is going to show me exactly where I need to go. So there is nothing I need to worry. So that is the current situation I'm experiencing, using that analogy of a child holding father's hand and going wherever father is taking.
Can you tell us a little depth about this thing that you're doing, or any
Yeah, sure. Past experience of courage, I've been through a divorce. It was a very tough experience. But I do understand now, because of the karma, the depth of, the amount of learning I had to do to understand the principles of karma, it is very clear. There is zero doubt why things have happened. And actually, Baba says everything, drama is kalyankari. Everything happens for your benefit, right? I have never found Baba. I would not have found Baba if it didn't happen. So to me, it is the biggest lottery I won because of what happened. So I am extremely happy, and I just don't feel alone. I feel in company of Baba, and also with the understanding of karma, deep principles of karma, and complete answers that I ever needed, I've gotten. So to me, that is one step of courage I took to know Baba, and he has given me 1,000 steps to move forward.
And we all know that Didi was in Australia for a very long time. Then she moved to India back. And we know just the outline. We don't really know the details. But Didi, do you recollect some things where you really had to? I know you're very courageous, but any situation that you felt that this is a tough situation, I better tackle it properly, and you did it?
Om Shanti. Oh, as a child, I was very protected child. That is, in India, when I went for my medical college interview, my uncle was with me.
Can't go alone.
Means some male member would always go if I wanted to go to the new place. Now with the Gyan, Baba helped me so much to be courageous that after Gyan I traveled at least 6-7 countries alone, where there was no center, no Brahman, nothing. So Baba was like my companion. And Baba really helped, because in most of the countries, somebody will come to pick me up, somebody will drop me, somebody will take me to the news reporters, to the lectures venue, etc. But first time when I went to New Zealand, I went from Australia. I arrived at midnight at the airport. And one of the organization, Divine Life Society, they said, okay, somebody will come to pick you up at the bus terminus in the city. So I took from airport bus to the city terminus. Now I arrived around 1 o'clock, 1:30. Nobody was there. All other passengers had somebody or other and they left. And the bus terminus also was closed at that time. So I was on the road alone. So I took taxi. But I had the address of that organization in the city center. So we went there, taxi took me to over there. Big gate, locked. Luckily, the taxi driver said, come on, let's go to the telephone booth. And he rang, and the ashram told me, or him, that we are in Henderson Road, about 8 or 10 kilometers away from the city. This is only the office in the city. So taxi driver took me to the Henderson ashram. And when I went there, it was totally dark. Electric supply was not there. The house was burnt
One after the other.
few days ago, and there was no electricity. So I was taken by lamp to the room where there
Sounds
was
so mysterious, right?
there was
Going in the dark.
there
with a
was
lamp.
already one New Zealander white sister. Now she was smoker, marijuana smoker, and as it is, as you know, Westerners don't like roommate and Indian roommate, and that also some Swamini or some sannyasi.
Weird person from somewhere, Himalayas.
So I spent 2 nights over there with her.
Was Was that your first experience of staying with a
Huh?
non-Indian?
Huh?
Was that a first experience of staying with a non-Indian? Or
Uh,
like sharing or
sharing.
sharing? Yeah.
For mine, it was first experience sharing with Westerner.
So what did you do, Didi, with
But
her?
it doesn't worry me because I was brought up in a family where 5 children were sleeping on one floor. So it didn't worry me. But it worried her a lot because she couldn't do whatever she wanted to do.
Ah.
But she had to manage because it was ashram and she had no choice. But
So you
luckily,
had nothing to hide, right?
Eh?
You had nothing to hide. She probably had.
Mhm.
So that's also courage, I think, right? When you have nothing to hide, you're automatically courageous, I think.
But luckily, after 2 days on Sunday, I was invited to give a talk in a Indian hall, Gandhi Hall, where there were all Indians. They say, "Where are you staying?" "Oh, you are staying so far away. Come on, come and stay with one of the Indian family." But nobody was vegetarian at that time. Only 2 family Indian were vegetarian. So one night I had to stay with somebody who was non-vegetarian. But they tried to clean their fridge. But then the second night they arranged some vegetarian family. But that's how, no, sometimes that sort of a experience comes when you are traveling alone in a new country where you don't have Brahmins. But Baba helped me a lot. That's one true thing is that I had that aim. I want to go for service. I want to go and give message to the new country. And Baba helped me.
And I think, Didi, also if I'm looking at the others as souls or like just Baba's children or my family, then it's easier to deal with them. Otherwise, the courage doesn't come because if I think, oh, they are low or they are not dating me, they are doing this, then already I'm creating like a barrier, like a rift between two, and then there is no courage to go over that. So if you have that vision of equality in a way, because sometimes as Brahmins, we unknowingly, we create a big gap between us and other people, and then we don't even know how to cross to the other side sometimes. So I think in your case, you were okay with that. Okay. Thank you, Didi. Rami, do you recollect any experience, anything in your life that you thought, oh, this really needs courage, I don't know if I can do it, or did you do it or not do it? Yeah, time hai, Didi.
Well, I am coming for relatively an Orthodox home with Jewish background. And then slowly, my parents start to understand that something very fishy is going on here. And we inform them that it's not just me and the wife, but we are taking the 3 kids with us. The little one was Shaked at that time, was maybe 1.5 years. She was baby. Actually, when we took Gyan, we took the 4 members, and Shaked was my wife was pregnant with her. And then I'm getting a phone call from my mother. You are not Jewish anymore, crying. And day after that, we're supposed to go to we call it Shabbat dinner, the family dinner, Jewish background and Indian background. They are very close. And I need to face my parents. That Friday was not easy. That Friday was not easy. What would I do? How do I do? To put the first step in the door of my parents, my foot was so heavy. It really required act of courage. to stand against your parents. It was not easy, I can tell you. And we were young, so Baba was not much there, whereas we were coming to Madhuban, but when you're a beginner, you don't know how exactly to put Baba or tie Baba or bring Baba into situation. It took time in the house. It was very heavy atmosphere until I was able to reach out to Baba and then, clear the atmosphere. It's not that now we are 14 years in Gyan. By now, it's every December, 12 years in a row, I'm coming here to Madhuban and every time. You going to India? Again in December?
Always ask.
Because December is my birthday as well. So she start to count the days, you will be here, you will not be here. Again, but this first step to comfort your parents, I think, was one of you taking power after that, because after that Didi had mentioned work and people know they're collecting money with everybody getting out. So I telling them, I can come with you, I'm not going to pay. Why? Well, you're taking poison in the form of a meat. By now they know the answer. But in order to say something like that to people at your work, I had to pass that first exam at my home, at my parents' home, and we are not eating anymore with your food. Until today, we are bringing our own food to my parents, and until today, every time, almost every week, if not every week, and now maybe every month, she tried to put something at the table and ask us to test it. She have not yet accept that we are not taking the food. And it requires courage, but the first time after that phone call, how much courage I needed.
Yes, this food thing is a very big thing. And I, in my case, I found a way. I'm not saying that you should not be strict with your disciplines, but sometimes you have to find a way where both parties are okay. So I would cook. I am fond of cooking, so they would keep things ready for me. I would come, maybe it's cut or something, and then I'm cooking and then they're eating. So at least they feel that we are eating something, together. That's so important for them. It's like, Israeli families or Indian families or any other place, I think. Just the family. Otherwise they feel, what's the family about? If you're not even going to sit and eat with us, So if you cook, say, and if you said, I will cook something maybe in your house, they're very happy if you cook in their house sometimes.
I didn't say that we are not eating on the same table.
No,
It's
I mean, do you cook in
half.
their house? I mean, do
No,
you cook
we're
there?
bringing the food
Yeah, see,
from
that's
our
what
home
it is. Yeah.
because we're offering to Baba. We will not eat something
Yes,
that is
yes.
not offered. So in half of the table there is the meat and the fish and whatever, the onion and whatever they eat. And the other half of the table has pure food.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay. By now, my mother knows, because in Judaism there is a difference between dishes that you need to eat for meat and for dairy stuff. So she put half, and they're not mixed. You need to separate them according to the religion.
Uh-huh.
So she taking out the dairy. So we're using there because we know it's dairy. There's no meat. She put the dairy on the half of the table, and there is the meat dishes and plates and everything on the other half. So she accustomed a little. It took time, but we always ate with them, even if they're eating meat. And it's okay.
Yeah.
Because they need us.
Yes, good. Thank you. So now all these things we heard about courage was mostly how to have the courage when I'm with people or when I'm dealing with family or dealing with my people at work. Now we come to a very subtle courage. Baba says, he said in the Murli also recently, he talks about the courage to step into my perfect stage. We all I want to become perfect, I want to become this, I want to become that. We say a lot and we think a lot, but so much courage is needed to really to be into that, come to that perfect stage. So my question to you is, first of all, is do you think it's possible to do this? And if it is possible, then what do we have to let go of? What habits or ideas or other things that we have to let go of if I really want to get into that perfect stage? So the first thing is, do I really want to go to that perfect stage, even though I say or I think and I sit in the Murli class or whatever? But do I have that courage to go into that? Because it's not going to happen just automatically. There are a lot of things that we might have to let go, give up, face, or whatever. Didi?
Om Shanti. To reach to that stage of perfection, I need two things: courage and determination. I want to do it. I can do it. Baba will help me to do it. So the thing is, if I don't have faith in myself, whether I can do it or not, that's what I find. Most of the people think, oh, it's too high a stage, I may not reach. I work hard for so many years and still I am staggering. So you need to have faith in Baba, that Baba will help me, and keep holding hand of Baba. Because Baba guarantees, if you follow my direction, I will make you rulers of the golden age. He is giving us promise. So I need to have faith in Baba. I need to hold hand of Baba. And with determination, courage and faith, we can achieve everything. And so I had to let go of my lack of self-esteem. I had to let go of my old sanskar. Because body consciousness is the root of all vices. And Baba is again and again telling, be soul conscious. Remember me. So I had to see that I don't give excuse, I'm too busy, no time to meditate. Amrit Vela, too difficult, because I'm not used to wake up early. Because that's what excuse people give. No, I'll give up all excuse. Whatever Baba tells, I have to do. So give up excuses. Give up old habit. Don't say this is my habit of not waking up early. So renounce old habits, old sanskars, old personality. So we have to let go of our negativity. Thinking, oh, I have come late. How can I reach that stage? Because Baba says last can go fast and can become first. So if I think, no, I want to go fast and become first, naturally I can become. And also thinking that, no, remember, you have courage, take one step. Baba is going to help you 100 steps. Courage of child, help from Baba. So that way, if we have the aim and determination, it is possible to reach that stage.
Thank you, Didi. So, similar question to you, Sujata, but I want a real, more subtler aspects, because we do say Baba is with us, I'm Baba's, and you are practicing it also. But to think that perfect stage I have to reach, am I only dreaming about that, or am I really visualizing it? Do I really want to be that, or I say, I'm okay, I'm doing the best I can, I'll be fine. And if I really believe in that, what kind of subtle things you think I will let go, or subtle things that I'll start doing, you think?
I think first, initially, right, I understood what Baba means by perfection. He is telling us that for each and everyone, it is possible to become Lakshmi and Narayan. Again, who is telling us? God himself is telling us. He's not lying. He's telling the truth. He's the ocean of truth who's saying this. So I have to believe in that to say, okay, I will make my best effort. One day may not be great, but other day may be great. But still never stop, never give up. For me, Didi already said, it's just really having that faith that I can succeed. It's very important. For me, what I need to give up is really having any doubt. There should not even be a trace of doubt that I would achieve my perfection. If I aim for rank 1, I may get rank 100 or 1,000, whatever it is. But I have to have that aim. Without even that aim, I will never become. Right? So I kept that aim, and I believed that Baba will take me there if I follow his Srimad. Because he says that the method is really follow Srimad and give up all vices that I have, and also any fear of doubt, also like lack of self-esteem, as Didi said, but also have that self-respect that I am a Devata soul. Then I can become. Yes. I'm a deity soul. Then I can become one. Om Janti.
Thank you. So, again, this letting go is of many things. But do you think, Rami, there are some more things that we have to let go in order to be reaching there somewhere high? Anything you want to add? Because I have a couple of things in my mind, but I would like you to say.
2 years ago, I explored the subject of ego. It's a huge subject. Good luck with that. We will all pass it, but we really need our really deep desire to let go of this I. There was a revised Moli this year about the I and my, if you remember. It's really very rooted. In Hebrew, it's within the verb. Baba used to say, whenever you say I is a soul. But in Hebrew, it's so rooted within the language, this I. So it's really, you need to go, you start at the beginning by saying it verbally. But then it's really, yes, I is a soul, I is a soul. The moment that you are soul conscious, as the sister says, you will make it. You will make it.
Thank you. And I think that...
And I think I asked one more Bridgman Bhai about this point, and he say, one thing that will really help you is the conscious of being world benefactor. This consciousness of being world benefactor, it's taking you out of your small eyes, big my. It's really very good to practice this. I'm a world benefactor.
Thank you. And I think that even sometimes to reach that stage we find it difficult sometimes because we start comparing. There are so many Brahmins who are so good, who have so many talents, who are doing so many things, and I'm not. And everybody's different. But, it becomes like a nature to see them. And somebody's doing a lot of service and I'm not doing, or whatever. So it's a part of that self-esteem, like you said. But I think it's just like looking at others and comparing. And so I think what I keep in mind is like sometimes when we give the lesson also, what is perfection? For example, you have tube light, you have bulb. If it's a 100-watt bulb and it shines 100 watt, it's perfect. But there's a 50-watt bulb and it's shining and it's saying I'm perfect because it's shining 50. So I think even though all of us are going to be Lakshmana in 1, 2, 3 or 8 or whatever, we all have our own perfection, I think. And if I feel happy that I am going to that stage, I'm reaching to my perfection, I think it's fine without looking at anybody and comparing, because everyone's light is different again. So that's one point that I wanted to add. And would you like to add anything to this or ask any questions to any of the participants? Maybe we have a mic, brother? We have? Anybody would like to add or ask something? Yeah, can you have the mic, please? You want this mic? Sorry.
You know, the last point that you said about the 100 votes and the 50 votes, the 100 votes and the 50 votes.
Yeah.
So basically, are you actually saying that depending on a person's capacity or ability, so they will be, so if the person's capacity is 50%, so that's only how much they are going to be able to go up to?
But they will be happy with that. They will not feel, oh no, I'm like this, I'm like that. You see, because Baba has said, Purusharth, of course, and he says, of course, there will be all kind of souls in the golden age and silver age. And it's not bad or anything, it's just that everybody is going to be different and everybody is needed.
So basically, depending on what their role or what their part or what
Whatever
exactly
part I
is
have.
meant, so
Yeah.
so you just have to be basically content with being a 50%, if that's
no, but
what...
you don't think it's 50. You feel okay. So as long as you're satisfied and you're not tricking yourself, you're not cheating yourself, you're very clear about that. If you feel, no, I think I can do more, I should do more, then you should do more. But sometimes, some people are good at this and some people are good at this. And some people have a nature of being happy all the time and some people have a nature of being sweet. Or everybody has a different nature. You know, I've asked this question so many times about, you know, all the Brahmins, do they really, really change their inner DNA when they come to Gyan? Everybody has their own DNA. Like look at the Dadis, they're all different. But what would you say? They're perfect, not perfect? They're all different, right? Yeah, perfect in their own way. Yes, so that's exactly what I'm getting at. I just talked about the bulb, which was not so good maybe, but that's the only example I know. So that's what I meant. Yeah, everybody has their own speciality. If I'm using that speciality to the maximum, I think it's fine, because everybody will have a different role in the gold and silver ages.
Didi, do you have any thoughts on that? Do you maybe want to respond to the sister?
Good.
The thing is, I should have clear aim as what I want to be. And I should put my maximum effort. Baba says, put the force of 10 nails or 20 nails. So I should put my full force. And if I have done my best, then leave rest to Baba, whatever result he wants to give, because Baba will give you the final marks and final number as where you stand. So that's where we have to do, is not allow any carelessness, laziness, lack of enthusiasm, etc. So I have to do my maximum effort. And I'm sure Baba will give me whatever I deserve. So not to worry, but still put full force.
Because sometimes I find Brahmins worry so much. Sometimes I find Brahmins worry so much, and that's already negating your, you know, your virtue of being happy or content. That's the main thing, no, Didi, we need.
Some
in any
people have
situation.
sanskar of
Sanskars,
worrying.
yeah, so worry. So
And taking everything on them.
yeah, everything
So
I have
don't
to do.
take everything
No,
on you.
no.
Take something on you, let Baba do the rest.
Right.
Because when I think I have to do everything, I worry. But if I have this, just as you were saying, no, if I become a child, Father has to take care of me. So have this awareness of being a child. So balance of being child and responsible. Instrument and responsible. So maintain balance. Then you will go fast. But if you just leave it on Baba,
Yeah.
then it will
Not
not
doing my homework.
work. If you just think I have to do, it will not work. One step of mine, Baba will take 100 steps.
Yes, thank you, Didi. Anybody would like to add anything or ask anything in this context? Or share anything? I'm sure you have some things to share, stories. We have time, I think. No? No time? No. You want meditation for 15 minutes? Pardon? Oh, we finished 12:15. No, nobody wants to sit in meditation, I guess. 5 more minutes? Oh, this is a different clock. I'm looking at this clock. See, this is what is Brahmin. I'm looking at this clock. She's looking at that clock. We both are right. Right? Both are right. So, this is 12:15 and that's 12:10. So, we have 5 minutes. Okay, we go by that. Be positive, right, Didi? We have 5 more minutes. Anybody would like to add? Soma, anything? Come on. Soma also has something to say.
We talked about the courage that we need to have from other people as obstacles. But we have to look upon the obstacle that we have with ourselves. Personally, I'm a person who had no obstacles from anybody. Everybody agrees with whatever I do. Nobody stopped me to come to Madhuban, to go to American study, to do whatever I wish. So it was a wholeheartedly necessity to find the courage from myself. And the self I discovered that is the only person that I can carry. I don't care what the other people say, but I do care a lot about myself. So the courage that I had to emerge from what I believe, from my belief system, it was really difficult. And what I really feel grateful for becoming a Brahmin is that for everything I have to do, I need a self-esteem and self-respect. And I think that needs a lot of courage.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Soma. There, Anita.
Om Shanti. Just wanted to share a bit of experience after being Baba's child when I was going through divorce, especially coming from Indian family. It's very difficult for them to accept that too. I come from a family who is very well known, and my dad had a lot of fame. So my husband's family, they just wanted to prove that they are right, because everybody will question why is he leaving this sort of girl. So he wanted to justify the reasons. So what he did was he brought the whole family. Can't tell you how many people came just to make sure that what he was doing was right. I said it was not needed anyway, because I wanted to end it mutually with understanding. But somehow they wanted to justify it. And then whole family came, and I said to Baba, Baba, I really don't want this, but this is happening, but I'm following what you said. So I just want you to reveal the truth, because I'm one of the person who don't want to say that this is what happened, this is what happened, this is why I'm doing this. So I didn't want it to go in details. But the situation happened in such a way that the person who was on their side, he knew me also from before, long time, and he's like very close to me. And he was surprised at the things they were told about. So he, before saying anything, he had that intellect. Baba touched him, I think. He just came and sat in front of me and he kept on asking questions. At that time, I didn't know why is he asking all these questions, because this is what he was told. And honestly, I answered all the question, and by the end of it, the whole family who came to support him, instead of supporting him, they were on my side. When that was really surprising, because we didn't bring any people, it's just our family members, because we wanted to finish it very quietly without, making so much hoo-ha. But then ended up everybody supporting me and telling it's all right, what you did was right. There's no right and wrong, because two parties will have their own, way of saying, but sometimes we just don't have to prove anything. And if you are truth and if you believe Baba, just leave it to him, and he will make sure everything goes on very well. That day was really, because I had this in my mind that everybody will think about me, because we're all famous there, so they will all think bad about me. I didn't wanted that from my side or on him, but somehow I don't have any problem now, because everybody knows and they say that you did the right thing. So yeah, so just bring Baba and have faith in him and just get along. He'll give you a lot of courage, and you'll have to face so many things in life. Just take that initiative. He is there with you. As long as you are able to answer in your own consciousness, that you're clear from your side, you can face anything and everything. He will be there for you. Yeah, Om Shanti.
Thank you for sharing.
I was looking at Baba's picture and kind of a thought came to me. I don't know why, but it seems that he wants me to say that one courage that maybe aspect that we missed and we need to think about it is the ability to look in the mirror of our heart. So I don't know why this thought raised, but really think about it. Do we have the courage to look into the mirror of our heart and fix what is need to be fixed? Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you everybody for being here, for sharing, for enlightening us. And I'm sure everybody has taken many points from this and using in your life. So thank you for everyone. And we'll have a few minutes of meditation, silence, a song. Yes, do you want to say anything? It's okay.